Hello ladies and gentlemen, hope you're having a good start to your week and you've had a lovely Monday morning. Well, I've been sorting today. But not only today, for the last couple of weeks I've been doing some sorting and I found all of these, look. And these are all cards that I've done a boo-boo on, if you know what I mean. That one isn't really getting the scent very much, and this has got a line across it. Some are cut too short, some are cut too long. Where's that other funny one? Now this one, I don't know what I was thinking. Look. Now what was I thinking doing that? I'll have to find out something. What I'm doing this for, I'm starting a new series called Reduce, Reuse and Recycle. Oh, I got it right. So, what I've done is I've gone through, as I've been going through sorting things out, I've been putting all these in a box, in a bag rather, and they've just been mounted up and mounted up. So I got fed up, but I thought, right, you're all going to go. Well, they're not going to go, but they're going to go and be used. Right, now then, where are we here? What I have done, I did that earlier, because when I did it I've messed up on the other side, so I'm leaving that there, otherwise I'm going to be wasting that piece of paper as well. And then, see, that's just a who knows what Wendy. Now then, what I want to do, where's that? I started this earlier on. This was my first cards about an hour or so ago, and about 5 takes ago. And I stuck something down on it, but then when I went to step over it, and it looked awful, so I pulled it off. Now I've gone over with my bone folder, and it's just sort of got the rough of it out, so you won't see it. Now then, what I'm going to do, oh, look at that, it's perfect. Don't tell me it's going to fit as well. Ah, look at that, isn't that great? Sometimes you will find that will happen. Because we usually work on a A4, and we cut it in half and then fold it in half, then a lot of the pieces are going to be useful really, because I mean even this little bit I've probably cut off the end of a long strip or something like that. I cut it off. That could be used. Never throw things away. And hopefully you'll follow this now, and we'll be able to work it all out together. And then oh no, that's the right size, wasn't it? Right. Yeah. The stamp set on. Don't you dare go down there. No, you get back here. As I was saying, the stamp set I'm using is called Butterfly Basics. And I'm using the fern. That fern. The Love to Celebrate You is from Butterfly Wishes. That one there. But one thing you must, if you're going to mix stamps, these are photopolymer and these are red rubber. Now the thing is, with the photopolymer stamps, you do need to have a mat underneath. There's a little bit of a spongy base. But because these red rubber stamps have got their own little spongy bit, you don't need it. So then you can take it off. Right, now then, where was I? Trying to what the stamp was. Oh, yes. Oh dear. So, got up this morning, I thought, no, don't want to get out. Don't want to get up, don't want to get up. Maybe I should have stayed in bed. What I'm doing now is, you see that one, it's the flower from the front of that. And what I want to do, I want to put it over this way as far as I can, even if I'm going to lose a little bit of the flower. Right, give that all a good squish. not too hard, just a little squish. I can see there where it hasn't caught, but never mind, we'll get over that. If the rest of it has, then I'm not complaining. Ta-da! Yep, the rest of it has, so guess what? I'm not complaining. No way. Right, so just leave that one to dry for a bit and put this back in here. And what else? I was going to put another one in there as well, wasn't I? Oh. Jumping round. Right, so I finished with this stamp set. I want a little sentiment as well to go in there. So, here we go. No, what if I put, that's it. I will now use this one. To a friend that makes me smile. Isn't that lovely? And seeing it is a football, a red rubber stamp, I'm just going to use the stamp. I don't need a mat underneath it. Now, so far with me, I do love my blacks, my sentiments in black. Just check that it's, yeah. So that's going to be fine. And I'll show you what to do with those as well afterwards. Just check your block and check your stamp. And then put this down here, sort of line your block up and down there. Oh, it's a blustery day here today. I don't think we're going to have leaves on the trees for autumn this year again. There we go. To a friend that makes me smile. Gives that a little, oops, gives that a little wipe, and I love this set. It's a Forever Fern. It's got the foliage. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful it is. Now then, as you can see here, I've got all these ink pads and pens out. Well, the 5 new colours this year are Misty Moonlight, Magenta Madness, Just Shade, Cinnamon Cider and Bumblebee. Just have another drink. I've also bought the pens to go with them. But there wasn't I didn't see the Bumblebee one, so I thought, well, I didn't quite know I must try and figure that out. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm using Old Olive Light and Dark. That's the light one, that's the dark one. What's good about Stampin' Up stamps, as you can see, they've cross-hatched all the areas that are in shadow. So all you've got to do then is to follow them. Be very careful as you go in there that you don't go over the line. But if you do, don't worry, we have a blender. It's okay, phew. We have a blender that can get all of that off for you. We can push it back onto the card. And Old Olive, you will find that I use a lot of Old Olive. It's one of my favourite greens, whether this colour green in any case. So that's what you'll be seeing me using a lot of. These are nice young shoots, so they'll be coming out like that, and that one is just about peeping out. One has got a little bit there, it's got a little bit to come out there as well. Right, now that I've done that in the one colour, in the light, I'm going back with the dark. And I'm going to just put a little black with it, a dark Old Olive where they have. Bit under here because there's no sun going in there. And I'm going to go back with the old olive. The one thing I will say is, if you're, when you do colouring in with blends, you really do need, they need to be wet for you to, for them to be able to blend properly. So don't do a whole one in just dark and a whole one in just light. You will need to reduce it. No, you know, make it wetter by going over it with the other pen. There we go. This is quite light, so that's not too bad. Bit of dark there, bit of dark there. Really, this just blends all the colours in together. Oh, missed you, mate. Missed you, my little one. Come on. Here we go. I don't know what's happening in this corner. All right, it's all coming. They're all coming to a point on there. So I will leave him like that. Who am I to argue with Mother Nature? Well, it's not Mother Nature exactly, is it? Before I go on, what I'll do is I'll tell you about this. Look, that's good, isn't it? Well, it's a piece of scrap paper. What I tried earlier didn't work. So you could actually use that in a card if there wasn't the black. If it's just pencil marks and stuff that you can't see through, anything that you can't see through, then you could use that on the card and it would look perfect for the front of a card, that would. So don't throw anything away until you've absolutely exhausted it. Now then, what am I going to use now? We have a little, can you hear that click? They've got to click before they close. You know if they're closed because they click. Right, I'm using Magenta Madness, which is a bit of a bright one, but it's almost fluorescent, isn't it? Let's go over with the light, all the pieces that you want pink. Or actually, all the pieces you would like coloured magenta. See, there's one bit there coming out. And this one is nearly out. Just got this little head poking up there and the petals are about to come out. There, and there's another one here. And this one is doing well, this one is. This one's well out. Well, you know, well on its way, I should say. Now, I've had lots of problems with my iPhone today again. I seem to not be able to keep memory on it, if you know what I mean. I look at it and it's only got, I don't know, X amount of memory. So like 2.2 or 3 point something gigabytes. And I never know how much it takes to do a video, about time wait. So I keep deleting things and I'm thinking, yay, I've done it, and then they come back again. So if anybody knows how I can get some more room on my iPad, then I would be very interested to find out. Because it is so frustrating that, you know, 1 minute you can have loads and then you can have none, and then you go and I think, oh right, I can get off Miller, I can get rid of this, and I can get rid of that, and you end up with exactly the same. And then if you try and delete something, it makes it look like you've got more. So I'm totally baffled with this. So I'm just going to leave it and wait for me to get another phone. You see, I told you there when it hadn't printed out properly, but it doesn't look out of place. Right, I'm going back now with the dark Magenta Madness Dark. And I'm just going to go once again. It's all lined for you. going to look, you think, oh no, it's going to look blobby, but it won't, don't worry. Anyway, it's only a little bit of paper and a bit of ink in it. Just going to spot it down there. Oops, no, not green, Wendy. I'm using the bullet tip rather than the brush because it does give you get a lot more control. Once again, make sure that the card is wet, the ink is wet. What happens then is, you see, it bleeds through. Apparently that's how you can tell how good a quality the pens are as to how much they bleed. Well, that's what I was told once, but I don't know whether that's true or not. Maybe you could leave it in the comments. You know, just give me a clue as to whether I'm talking rubbish half the time. Well, I know I'm talking rubbish half the time, but it would be nice to know that some of the rubbish is actually information rubbish. There we go. Where these have gone. I mean, some put the dark down first and then the light, but I don't. I do like to put it light first and then dark, because you can always add, but you can't take away. So you'd be, you know, if you make it too dark with the darks, then the light isn't going to show. But I know that a lot of you out there do that, and I'm not criticising or anything. I'm just saying this is my way of doing it. Now, after doing that, you can see that there's where's old Olive gone? Oh, here we are. You can see that there's bits that I've missed, because when you do it first off, you don't really, until you've coloured the flower, you can't really tell what that bit behind the flower is. I can't remember what it's called now either. Just go around then and just bits where you haven't quite caught it, or here we go. Oh, right, give this a bit of a waft. Now then, we'll put the card together. Turn this over carefully. I know you're going to come out soon. Can't believe how bright that magenta is. Goodness me. And that's the colours we're going to have now for 2 years. I mean, flowers. The flowers are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Right. Put it over here. Get the margins as close as possible without going over the folding bit. Oops, shouldn't do that. That is a sure way to waste ink, is go shake, shake. Not only does it waste ink, it'll ruin whatever project that you're shaking it over. Here we go. Cut them about the same length, didn't we? So I just leave a little margin there, so it looks like it's just looks like it should. There we go. So from one waste card to one that says, "Love to celebrate you," and it says, "There to a friend that makes me smile." And I think if anybody having this card looks at that, they have to smile, don't they? So thank you very much for your time today and watching me. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, because I've got a lot more things up my sleeve yet to show you. So thank you very much for watching. Bye.